Hey friends, I recently received a comment on my review video of Outward where someone was talking about how they would continuously go back to Cierzo to kind of like dump off their junk, or they would run around with a bunch of stuff in their inventory, fearful of not having it with them. So I kind of wanted to make this video to show you maybe like some advanced tactics of what you can do with split screen. It's not just for co-op, you can use it for your advantage. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm going to load up my alternative character called Pack Mule. Now, Pack Mule is a character that basically never left Cierzo. She's always in Cierzo. She's right next to my stash. So if I'm encumbered, I'll load in and I'll have quick access to just dump everything I need right into that stash without having to worry about anything. I also like to have miscellaneous items like for restocking on her as well. So I know like one of my characters I recently ran out of ice varnish on. So what I would do is I would load in Pack Mule into my game using split screen. I would dump some ice varnish on the ground as a restock, and I'd pick it up on that character and just remove Pack Mule from the game. So it's just an easy load in, dump, load out kind of a thing. I don't even have to worry about moving from that dungeon, and I can just continue on my way. Another thing I have here is I just have like a cooking pot and an alchemy kit station so that I don't have to go downstairs and use the kitchen. It's all right here, right next to the stash. Super easy access. So let me show you what I need, or what you need to do in order to take advantage of split screen. You do need to have another controller. If you're on PC, you want to use your keyboard for the main character and the controller for the split screen character. If you're on console, you probably need another controller. I'm not really sure. I don't have a console and I don't play it using a console. But let me go ahead and show you what I do. So I'm going to start the split. And I'm just going to load in, I'll load in Nara. So this is the controller right here on the bottom, and the keyboard's on the top. So I'm just going to open up the stash. And I've got all of these water skins because I make a lot of potions. But I probably don't really need them like on this character. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer them. It's really super simple. You know, I've got a bunch of junk on here I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this either. Let's see. I don't need all these bandages. So let's dump. Yeah, that's good. Oops. I want 6. I don't need these. Or this egg, or any of these. See, the really great thing about having a Pack Mule as well is that no matter how much time you put on this character, these things are not going to spoil. Like, let me show you something. This is just all of the garbage that I've accumulated, like, throughout multiple characters. But I have had this fungal cleanser in here since I first created Pack Mule. And I put it in there at half. Like the cleanser itself is at half. So if that doesn't tell you like how much time you are really getting out of it, I don't know what does. But you never have to worry about things spoiling because it's not going to go away. Like, not unless you put significant amount of time on this character. But I would visit Pack Mule pretty often. But you know, this is just something you can do. You load in, you dump your garbage into one universal stash on one character. And you never have to worry about it again. It's just like it's like a compact thing, and then you just load out. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm just gonna load out. And let me show you what you can do alternatively. So I just dumped all that garbage from Nara into my universal stash on Pack Mule. I'm going to go back to settings. I'm going to load up Nara, who is not in Sears though. And she's the one that ran out of ice varnish. So I'm going to dump some ice varnish on the ground using Pack Mule. When I first realized I could do this, it had changed everything for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in Pack Mule. Here she is, and I'm going to open the inventory, and I'm just going to dump the ice varnish out. And then I'm just going to pick it up on Nara, and then I'm going to stop the split screen because that's really all I need. And there you have it. I've replenished my stock of ice varnish. I didn't have to go anywhere, and I can continue on with my day. Speaking of, what do we got here? He'll never suspect. Or maybe he will. Nope, he didn't see me. I took some unnecessary hits, but it was worth it. So, if you saw my review video, you saw about how I just left everything on the ground, kind of. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave things on the ground, and when I'm done with an area, I'll load in on Pack Mule and just pick everything up. That way, like, I don't have to transfer it next time. Sometimes I'll pick things up and then just dump it into the universal stash. But that's basically it, guys. You can do that for just about any character. Let me show you another thing you can do. I made a character for every area. So these are all like characters in those locations, specifically for those locations. So I'll show you my Levant character. Now I did this because I was playing co-op, and like we were like figuring out what builds we wanted to play with, and we were like, oh man, I don't want to have to run all the way to Levant for the freaking like rogue or mercenary trainer. And so I was like, well, I'll just make city characters, and I'll just like place them there. And so that's what I did. And you can do this for anything. So this is my Levant character. It's always in Levant. You know, I've got some tents here. I've got just homey items, right? If you need Levant, you open the game up to friends. People can join in on the game, and they'll immediately come to Levant, and they'll be able to use the trainers. They'll be able to do anything they need to do. And you could do that for any main city with split screen. It's so useful, and I think it's really understated, and I don't think a lot of people really use it. But that's another thing you can do is, like, when I was playing with Pack Mule, somebody had messaged me about needing the Vanadil key, and I had an extra one, and I was like, well, just load in this game and pull it out of the stash. And they were like, holy crap. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Just grab the key. So that's what they did. And, I gave them like, some food and stuff. But that's basically how I utilize split screen is I have a universal stash for all of my characters. I don't have to worry about Cierzo lugging garbage around. That's what I do. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it eases some stress off of your travels and you can enjoy the game a little bit better knowing what you can do with split screen. So take care.